Hello, good day, everyone. To my UCSP students or understanding cultures and society and politics students, good day to all of you. So we are now here on module 3 of quarter 1 of this subject. So we are going to talk about cultural relativism and ethnocentrism. Uh, before we start our discussion, allow me to present to you the most essential learning competency or MELC, uh, the importance of cultural relativism in attaining cultural understanding. So, with this MELC, you will notice that in order to promote or to attain cultural understanding, we should have at least engaged in cultural relativism. So, what is cultural relativism? Why is it important in attaining cultural understanding? So, siguro naman alam ninyo kung ano nang ibig sabihin ng cultural understanding. So, why cultural relativism is so important in attaining cultural understanding. So that's the milk for today. Okay. However, I have here some specific objectives, which I would like that my students will be able to, uh, or or I am expecting, and all of my students will be able to accomplish these objectives. Okay. Number one, at least you can describe your own culture and compare it to the other cultures. Okay. Number two, determine the difference between ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Okay. Remember last week we have I introduced to you cultural relativism. So at least mayroon na kayong idea what cultural relativism is. Okay. Number three, shows the ill effects of ethnocentrism. So kung itatagalogin natin yan, ano kaya ang masamang epekto or bad results ng ethnocentrism? Okay. Or for example, you practice ethnocentrism or you are an ethnocentric person, what do you think is the bad effect to the society or even to you as a person? And number four, become aware why and how cultural relativism mitigates ethnocentrism. So remember, that's the purpose of our milk. Okay, we use cultural relativism in attaining cultural understanding. So paano nga ba makakatulong si cultural relativism in mitigating ethnocentrism? Okay. So, I hope maliwanag sa inyo yung mga objectives na gusto nating uh, at least ma-manifest sa inyo at the end of this session. Okay? And next slide. What is ethnocentrism? When we say ethnocentrism, this is a belief that one's own culture is better than the others or better than other cultures. They tend to compare, evaluate, and even judge other people's ways based on the values and standard set in your own culture. So ano nga ba ito? So meaning to say, you tend to judge other cultures because you based it from your own culture. Okay, so it's like saying this, that oh my god, what are they doing? Why these people ate something like this and like that? Okay, so it's like you are ethnocentric person. Okay, so number two, their worldview is based on the beliefs. the assumptions, expectations, and values shaped by one's language, behavior, customs, values, religions, and other aspects in life. Okay? And due to ethnocentric beliefs, many people are blinded from seeing things in another perspective. So, if you practice ethnocentrism or if you are an ethnocentric person, you are blinded uh, from other cultures' perspective. You are only you emphasize being self-centered. Parang, parang you think your culture is the best among other cultures. So, ethnocentric people tend to dislike or make false judgment on the other cultures. So, ayon nga sa Itbulaga, bawal judgmental. So, if you are an ethnocentric person, parang you always judge other cultures. Okay? You always judge the cultures of others. Remember, sabi ni Bossing sa Itbulaga, bawal judgmental. Another one, they tend becoming biased and judge other cultures as bad or wrong. If you are an ethnocentric person, you always believe that your culture is good and other cultures are bad and wrong. Okay? Para sa iyo magaling ang kultura mo. That's the best culture. Okay? Even though we deny it, most of us are ethnocentric. Do you agree with that? We deny it. Sometimes we practice ethnocentrism. We are ethnocentric. We are not aware of that. Some do not even realize that they are being ethnocentric at the moment. Minsan napapansin, minsan without knowing na practice na pala yung ethnocentrism, kahit simple gestures lang, parang nagiging ethnocentric na tayo. Okay? So, now I would like to show you some examples of ethnocentrism. Ay papakita ko dito yung ethnocentrism practiced internationally. Okay? But later on, I would like you to give me some examples of ethnocentrisms na minsan nagagawa rin natin as Filipino. So, una, the American society sees themselves as a world leader. As a result, they interfere in the political affairs of other countries and try to control them, leading to misunderstanding and miscommunication amongst nations, which sometimes result to war. Hindi kaya itong dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng digmaan sa pagitan ng mga bansa or nations? Alin ba ang madalas magkaroon ng war? Di ba somewhere in Middle East? At sino ang madalas na kalaban? Minsan sila-sila or minsan yung United Nations nag-i-interfere sa kanila. Hindi kaya ang American society, without knowing or being aware of what they are doing, naging ethnocentric na rin sila? Okay. Number two, letter B. During the time of Adolf Hitler, Germans believed that they are superior race. This led to the death of 6 million Jews whom they considered as inferior race. Naalala niyo sa inyong araling palipunan lesson about the Holocaust? Okay? Sino ang pasimuno doon according to Hitler daw? And they massacre the Jews kasi they don't like uh, Jewish people in Germany kasi para sa kanila mga malas yung mga Hudyo. So what they did, minasakar nila para ma-wash out na sa kanila ang mga Hudyo. Okay? So that's ethnocentric. Letter C, European countries go beyond their ethnocentric biases and saw non-European cultures as uncivilized and their underdeveloped countries as savages and barbarians. They use this perspective to justify colonialism and imperialism. Naalala nyo yung mga panahon ng pananakop ng mga Kastila sa lahat ng mga lupain sa Asia. So, bakit ginawa ng mga European nations yon? Because they thought na they are the best. Okay? They are civilized, and yung mga nasasakop nila are uncivilized, barbarians, walang alam. Okay? Latter day cases of hate crimes and terrorism violence can usually be traced back to the religious conflicts and misunderstanding. Wag na tayong lumayo. Recently, ang US ay, some of the white people in the US practice the Asian hate crimes. 'Di ba? Na sa palagay nila, Asian ka, basta ka nalang bububugon on the street. At may usap-usapan na baka kaya daw nila ginagawa ito sa mga Asians kasi dahil dito nagsimula sa Asia yung coronavirus. Well, usap-usapan. I do not know actually kung totoo yun o hindi. So, those are manifestations of ethnocentrism. Dito kaya sa Pilipinas, ano ang mga ethnocentric behavior ang pinapakita ng mga Pilipino sa kapwa Pilipino? Ang dami. Diba? So, pwede bang kayo naman ang magbigay ng halimbawa kung anong mga ethnocentric behavior na ginagawa dito sa Pilipinas or mga nangyayari dito sa Pilipinas? And if you have that idea, please do not forget to comment down sa comment section nitong video. Okay? Kung mayroon kayong idea ng ethnocentrism or ethnocentric behavior na pinapakita ng mga Pilipino sa kapwa Pilipino dito sa ating bansa. Okay? Huwag niyong kalimutan yan. So, now let's move on to the next one, which is cultural relativism. Is this the opposite of ethnocentrism? Kung ang ethnocentrism is judging other cultures or nagiging bias because they think their culture is the best compared to the other cultures. Ang ethnocentrism kaya is the opposite? We'll find out. Cultural relativism is a belief that cultures are equally complex. Remember that. Equally complex. There is no such thing as superior or inferior culture, meaning equal. Either whether you practice it or not, it's part of their culture. Okay? Another one, cultural relativism is very important in studying culture of other people. Bakit kaya? It is a way of viewing the beliefs, values, and practices of a culture from its own viewpoint. Okay? Cultural relativism promotes greater appreciation of the culture that an individual might encounter along the way. So, greater appreciation, meaning to say you have to appreciate. Even if you don't know that culture, even if you don't even if you don't practice that culture, you still have to appreciate because thing like there's no such good or bad culture. Okay? Cultural relativism is a good way to rehearse the norms and values of society. This is a requirement that one must subscribe to regardless of his or her cultural origin. Whether kahit hindi mo pina-practice yung kultura na yun, even if you don't like that culture, do not show them that you don't like it. Diba? So, you have to appreciate instead and recognize that their culture is different from your culture. In that way, you are practicing cultural relativism or you are a cultural relativist. Okay? Another one, it means that the function and meaning of a trait are relative to its cultural setting. So, ulitin ko, when we say cultural relativism, you show appreciation to other cultures. Or when we say cultural relativism, you regard other culture as their culture. You do not judge them. You recognize them. You appreciate their culture, even if you don't practice it. Okay? I have here two situations. Mayroon ako mga kaibigan na na in-invite to talk about cultural relativism and ethnocentrism. I would like you to analyze what they say. Okay? Una ay si Ben at yung girl naman ay si Lisa. Ano ang sabi ni Ben? Hello, I am Ben. I am an ethnocentric. I always believe that my culture is superior from others. I often use my own culture to judge others. I consider the beliefs and practices as savage or corrupt. Most of the time, I tend to discriminate others, bully them for their practices, and get into conflict with them. So, if you are an ethnocentric person, you are like Ben. Mapapalapit ka sa gulo because you are a conflict seeker. Okay? And you don't even respect other cultures. Okay? Ngunit si Lisa ay iba. Si Lisa is a cultural relativist. Pakinggan natin ang sinabi niya. Hello, I am Lisa. I am a cultural relativist. I believe that culture of people must be looked at in terms of the world these people inhabit. I try to look at their culture based on what their practices bring into them. If Eskimos kill their infants sometimes, I believe that there is a practical reason why they do that. That is why for me culture is relative. There is no right or wrong, and I don't have the right to say if it is good or bad. So, ano ang pinakita ni Lisa? 'Di ba? She respects other culture. Okay? Sabi nga niya, wala siyang karapatan husgahan ang iba dahil sa kanilang kultura. There is no such good or bad culture. So kung kayong aking tatanungin, dear students, sino sa kanilang dalawa ang gusto nyong maging kaibigan? Is it Ben or you like Lisa? You comment down below sa comment section kung sino ang gusto nyong maging kaibigan at bakit. Okay? So I have here some activities and I would like you to perform these activities in your own. Or you can submit these activities either sa messenger. Okay? So here, state your reason why you beg to disagree to the given statements below or at sa next slide. You must remember that you are a cultural relativist. You must place yourself in the shoes of these people in order to understand them better. Culture is not good or bad, neither it is wrong or right, but instead it is relative. Again, there's no such culture as right or wrong. Culture is relative. Okay? So, you have to disagree and anong gagawin mo to show that you are a cultural relativist? Okay? One society can call another society as evil, such as those nations where terrorists live. These practices are also called an axis of evil. Parang unfair naman yon sa mga taong nakatira doon sa lugar na yon, di ba? Stereotyping. Number three, when you don't say po at opo, you are impolite. Okay? Unfair naman yon sa ibang mga Pilipino that they do not use po at opo. Di ba? The Mangyan tribe of Mindoro are backwards people because they are uneducated. Unfair naman yon sa iba. Di ba? So, ayan. So again, once again, these are only examples showing uh, ethnocentrism. So if you recognize culture as relative, then kung ikaw ay cultural relativist, how will you show that you respect others' culture? Diba? So remember, cultural relativism, You're not judging culture, but you try to understand their culture. So, another one, putting yourself on the shoes of others. That's cultural relativism. If you are ethnocentric or ethnocentrism, you use your own culture to judge others. Or one's group is the center of everything and others are scaled. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I would like you to perform this. Complete the following sentences. The topic was about. Tungkol saan ang ating topic? What matters about the topic? And ano ang natutunan nyo sa topic natin today? Once again, you can comment down your answer sa comment section, or if you want, you can write it on your paper then submit sa messenger. So that would be all. So thank you so much, my dear students, sa pakikinig. And if you have questions regarding the lesson, do not forget to message me on Messenger. Okay? So once again, good luck and prepare for the activity sa inyong activity next uh next day. Okay? Bye everyone.